everyone, it's Raynash30, and today I've gone through the evolution of the world's greatest detective and Cape Crusader, Batman, to recap all of his appearances in every DC live-action movie. So, without any delay, let's begin. Batman. We begin with his first appearance in the chapters of serials composed into a film. When a Japanese crime ring in Gotham kidnaps Bruce's girlfriend's uncle, Dr. Daka questions him for the location of the city's radium to power his dissolving ray gun. However, the dynamic duo intervenes and takes one henchman to the Batcave for interrogation. After getting info, they infiltrate the ring's headquarters and rescue Bruce's girlfriend. While Daka later aims to stop a supply train, the duo arrives to thwart his plan. Over the next few chapters, Batman and Robin continue foiling Daka's operations while fighting his goons. After stopping his final heist, the dynamic duo stops his henchmen and witnesses Daka's death from his own death trap.
What do you know about this?
That's what was used to open the safe. I've told you everything I know. Don't leave me here alone.
Don't be afraid of my little friends. They don't bite. That is, unless I tell them to.
Batman and Robin. On to another film composed of chapters. A gang steals Professor Hamill's device that gives the user control over any moving vehicle. It is revealed that a new villain, calling himself the Wizard, sent his henchmen to retrieve it. As the source of the device is diamonds, Batman and Robin foil their diamond heist before they're almost killed when the Wizard uses the device on their plane. As they escape, they learn about another heist, but fail to stop the Wizard's henchmen from getting explosives. The Wizard continues to use the device to stop vehicles that carry cargo, but with Commissioner Gordon's help, the dynamic duo thwarts his plan. Only in the end, Batman and Robin infiltrate the Wizard's headquarters and discover Carter, Hamill's attendant, is the Wizard.
Then Professor Hamill didn't know that Carter had a twin brother?
No, while the brother was acting as Hamill's attendant, Carter was carrying on as the Wizard.
Then he got rid of his brother when it suited his purpose.
Batman, you've done a great job uncovering the Wizard. Our citizens owe you a debt of gratitude.
Robert and Miss Vale have done their share too.
Batman the movie. Now Adam West returns in his 60s appearance with the iconic blue and gray suit. After being falsely tipped about trouble, Batman and Robin deduce that the Penguin, the Joker, the Riddler, and Catwoman have teamed up as the United Underworld and are responsible. When Bruce later falls for a new reporter, Miss Kitka, who is Catwoman in disguise, the villains kidnap Bruce, hoping to stop Batman when he arrives to rescue him. Bruce, however, escapes and returns with Robin, only to dispose of a bomb the villains left behind. Unable to stop the villains from dehydrating the World Security Council, Batman and Robin later chase their submarine and battle their goons. After defeating the villains, he discovers that Miss Kitka is Catwoman, leaving Batman heartbroken. But regardless, he moves on and helps rehydrate the council.
A fine job, Batman. You allayed their fears magnificently.
What else could I have done, Commissioner? If I told the truth, panic would grip the city.
The truth. Sure, and what is the truth?
A decoy. A strange, anonymous warning that Commodore Schmidlap is in danger to lure me into a trap.
Batman. With a darker take on Gotham, when a family is robbed in an alley, Batman appears in a black and yellow suit, beginning his crusade in crime fighting. Later, he responds to a break-in at Axis Chemicals, where he deflects one of Jack Napier's bullets, but when he fails to save him from falling, Jack plunges into a vat of chemicals, transforming him into the Joker. While Bruce has a relationship with Vicky Vale, Joker later interrupts their date and repeats a memorable quote. We cut to a flashback where Bruce recalls the exact quote, realizing that Jack killed his parents. After uncovering Joker's plot to disperse his laughing gas, he destroys the source and releases his balloons while Joker kidnaps Vicky. Despite being injured after a crash, to rescue her, Batman has a showdown in anger, but in the end, Joker plummets to his death, and Batman gives the city his signal.
Don't kill me! Don't kill me, man!
I'm not going to kill you. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
What are you?
I'm Batman.
Batman returns. In the sequel, when a gang attacks the city to kidnap industrialist Max Schreck, Bruce sees the signal and responds in the Batmobile. After he defeats them, Max is blackmailed into making Penguin an elite member of Gotham, and later kills Selina Kyle, who survives and becomes Catwoman. While Bruce falls for Selina's charm, when the gang attacks Gotham again, he fights, connects them to the Penguin, and confronts Catwoman. As he's later framed for murder, he exacts revenge by revealing the truth about the Penguin to the public, ruining his chances of becoming the next mayor. He then foils the Penguin's final plan of killing Gotham's firstborn sons and sending his Penguin army to destroy Gotham. With the Penguin's defeat, Bruce reveals his identity to convince Catwoman not to exact revenge on Max, but after she kills him, Bruce later searches for her.
What do you want?
Ah, the direct approach. I admire that in a man with a mask. You don't really think you'll win, do you?
Things change.
Batman Forever. Now recast, Batman responds to save a hostage from Two-Face. At Wayne Enterprises, after Bruce rejects Edward Nygma's mind manipulation device, wanting revenge, Nygma becomes the Riddler. Later, when Bruce heads to Haley Circus with his date Chase, he witnesses the death of Dick Grayson's family at the hands of Two-Face, so he convinces him to become his ward. As Riddler and Two-Face team up, Dick discovers Bruce's identity and wants to become his partner to get revenge on Two-Face, but Bruce initially refuses. However, when the Riddler and Two-Face destroy the Batcave and kidnap Chase, Batman wears a new suit, Robin becomes his partner, and they head to stop them. When Robin is kidnapped, Batman is forced to save either Chase or Robin, but instead saves both and stops Two-Face and the Riddler.
You make the kill, but your pain doesn't die with Harvey, it grows. So you run out into the night to find another face, and another, until you wake up and realize that revenge has become your whole life. And you won't know why.
Batman and Robin. Recast again in his final 90s appearance, Batman and Robin respond to a break-in where Mr. Freeze steals a diamond. After fighting his henchmen, he escapes, but they learn his origin and that he needs diamonds to power his suit. When Poison Ivy arrives in Gotham, Bruce presents Gotham's new telescope, but later lures Freeze into a trap and arrests him. However, Ivy helps him escape, and together they plan to take over Gotham. After learning that Alfred's dying, Batman and Robin discover Freeze's wife, Nora, but are pitted against each other because of Ivy's pheromones. As Bruce convinces Robin not to fall for her, with Batgirl's help, they defeat her and wear new suits to fight Freeze when he ices the city. As Batman defeats him, they use satellites to melt Gotham, while he convinces Freeze to help cure Alfred's illness in exchange for allowing him to find a cure for Nora.
Death and chance stole your parents. But rather than become a victim, you have done everything in your power to control the fates. For what is Batman, if not an effort to master the chaos that sweeps our world?
Batman Begins. Making his debut in the Dark Knight trilogy, we dive into Batman's origin. After the death of his parents, and understanding many years later about Gotham's corruption, Bruce left his life to understand criminals and conquer his fears. Eventually, he met Ra's al Ghul, who trained him to lead the League of Shadows, but as they sought vengeance, he destroyed their home and returned to Gotham. Believing he can do more to save Gotham as an incorruptible and everlasting symbol, he creates a suit and becomes Batman. Bruce then portrays himself as an eccentric billionaire to avoid suspicion, while he moonlights to stop crime. After targeting mob boss Carmine Falcone, he faces the Scarecrow and uncovers that Ra's is the mastermind with a scheme to destroy Gotham. Knowing he can't do it alone, with Alfred, Lucius, Rachel, and Jim, he defeats Ra's in combat and saves Gotham.
You really started something. Bank cops running scared, hope on the streets.
What?
We still haven't picked up Crane or half the inmates of Arkham that he freed.
We will. We can bring Gotham back.
The Dark Knight. Returning to the trilogy, after Batman interrupts a deal and arrests the Scarecrow, he works with Jim and Harvey to target the Maroni crime family. As he meets with Lucius to get a new suit for better mobility, Batman travels to Hong Kong and brings the mob's accountant back to Gotham to hit their life savings. While the Joker's body count continues, Bruce is willing to turn himself in, but he later interrogates him when Rachel and Harvey are missing. The Joker tricks Batman into saving Harvey instead of Rachel, as Bruce later realizes that he mistakenly prioritized the mob over him. When the Joker threatens Gotham, Batman briefly battles the police to save hostages, and while he defeats the Joker, he confronts his latest creation, Two-Face, for kidnapping Jim's family. Eventually, Harvey dies, but refusing to let the Joker win, ruin what Harvey stood for, and let the people lose hope, Batman decides to take the fall, resulting in his retirement.
Because he's the hero Gotham deserves. I'm not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him. Because he can take it. He's a silent guardian. A watchful protector. A dark knight.
The Dark Knight Rises. In the trilogy's final film, after taking the fall for Harvey's murder, Bruce isolates himself for 8 years, believing there's nothing left for him. However, when Bane and his army come to Gotham, Jim convinces Bruce to return as Batman. Catwoman later helps him locate Bane, but when he's betrayed, he engages him in combat. With his body and spirit broken following the battle, he's taken to a pit to watch Gotham suffering, while Bane plans to use a neutron bomb and traps the police underground. Despite failing to escape, 5 months after regaining his strength, Bruce climbs out and returns to Gotham. He then works with Catwoman, and when all cops are freed, war breaks out. While he stops Bane, and later discovers that Ra's daughter Talia plans to complete his mission, the bomb is minutes from detonating. So to save Gotham, Batman sacrifices himself, and while they create a statue in his honor, we know he faked his death to make a life with Selina.
When you started, why the mask?
Protect the people closest to me.
Maybe you were a loner, right? You didn't have any family?
There are always people you care about. The idea was to be a symbol. Batman. Could be anybody. That was the point.
Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. Making his debut in the DC Extended Universe, the film cuts to an older Bruce who becomes infuriated as Superman's battle with Zod causes innocent people to die. He then spends the next 18 months stopping crime and devoted to stopping him. After meeting Diana and stealing files from Lex Luthor, he has a nightmare vision where Superman is the ruler, and later the Flash tells him to find the other heroes. When he awakens, his decryption reveals files on Wonder Woman, Cyborg, the Flash, and Aquaman. Following a segment of training, crafting weapons, and suiting up in armor, he battles Superman to finish it. However, when Superman reveals that his mother Martha was kidnapped, Batman fights goons to rescue her. Then as Lex creates Doomsday, he works with Superman and Diana to stop it, but after Superman kills it and sacrifices himself, Bruce admits he was wrong about him and decides to create a team of heroes.
I arranged for you to get transferred to Arkham Asylum in Gotham. They're expecting you. Out in the dark, the god is dead.
Suicide Squad. He then briefly returns to the DCEU to make minor appearances. Before the Battle of Metropolis, thanks to a tip from Amanda Waller, he locates Deadshot, fights him when he refuses to back down, and then arrests him after his daughter convinces him to surrender. Later, he chases the Joker and Harley Quinn in the Batmobile before causing it to crash and saves Harley from drowning. Then, 1 year after Superman's death, Bruce meets with Amanda Waller. He negotiates protection for her involvement with the squad in exchange for detailed documents on Barry Allen and Arthur Curry, with plans to recruit them for his team.
Why, Mr. Wayne?
Just like to make friends. Good night.
You look tired. Should stop working nights.
You should shut it down. My friends and I will do it for you.
Justice League. Back in the DCEU, Batman uses a robber as bait to capture a parademon, but cannot retrieve any intel. Realizing an invasion is approaching, he begins forming the team, and while he fails to recruit Arthur, he locates Barry and convinces him to join. He also learns that Steppenwolf was stopped when he tried to take over the Earth using mother boxes, and the boxes were hidden in case he returned. When he arrives, realizing that the team isn't enough to defeat him, they revive Superman with a mother box, where Batman calls Lois to help him regain his memories. As Steppenwolf unites the boxes, Batman, in his tactical suit, battles parademons with the Batmobile and his gadgets, while Superman returns to separate the boxes and help the team defeat him. With the world saved, Bruce decides to rebuild his home to be their HQ, and he responds when Jim lights the signal.
What was that? A scout.
From space. Like an alien army?
Matches the other sightings. And that pattern is all over Luther's notes.
Prep the jet. We're going north tonight.
Good. It's time then.
Zack Snyder's Justice League, the Snyder Cut, which is far better than its predecessor, opens with Superman's death awakening mother boxes. As Steppenwolf arrives to retrieve them for Darkseid, Bruce fails to enlist Arthur, but recruits Barry. While working, Diana reveals that Darkseid tried terraforming the Earth with the boxes, but was stopped by an alliance. Though the entire team assembles, realizing they need Superman to stop Steppenwolf, they resurrect him with the box. As Steppenwolf later unites all three, Batman distracts the parademons while the team stops him, but when the boxes destroy the Earth, Barry uses the Speed Force to reverse time. This allows Superman and Cyborg to separate them, while the others kill Steppenwolf. The film then cuts to the nightmare future, where Batman works with his insurgency to survive a world he made because he didn't save Lois. As Superman locates and kills them, Bruce awakens and meets Martian Manhunter, who reveals that Darkseid will return for the anti-life equation.
Because when I held Harley Quinn and she was bleeding and dying, she begged me that when I killed you and make me a mistake, I will kill you. That I do it slow. I'm an on that promise.
The Batman. On Halloween in Batman's second year, criminals move in fear, believing he is lurking in the shadows. After fighting, he helps Jim investigate the mayor's murder and solves the riddle, despite being ridiculed by the cops. He then works with Alfred to decrypt other riddles throughout the film, where he meets the Penguin and Selina. He ultimately discovers that the Riddler is leading him to an informant, who at first believes is the Penguin, so he chases him in the Batmobile, but after continuing to follow the trail and a romantic moment with Selina, he learns Carmine Falcone is the informant. When he helps arrest him, the Riddler kills him and surrenders himself. However, Batman realizes he has a contingency, flooding Gotham and sending his followers to kill the new mayor. With Selina's help, Batman defeats his army and guides the city to safety. So in the aftermath, he becomes a symbol, realizing that fear wasn't the only effect he had on the city, and he parts ways with Selina.
2 years of night have turned me into a nocturnal animal. We have a signal now for when I'm needed. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning to them.
Batgirl. So I'm sure many of you have heard about the film's cancellation, but I'll briefly explain it for those who didn't fully understand. The film was in post-production and was planned to head straight to HBO Max for streaming. However, the new heads at Warner Bros. Discovery felt that the film should never see the light of day because of cost-cutting measures, quality issues, and so they could write it off for tax purposes. Now, Keaton returned to play a retired Batman with the idea that he would make several cameos. He would first convince Batgirl to hang the cowl, then assist her with something, and in the end, team up to patrol Gotham. The Flash. Ending with his final appearance, Batman, with an updated blue and gray suit, uses the Batcycle to stop a robbery, but Barry later talks about changing the past to save his mom. While Bruce tells him about the repercussions of time travel, Barry saves her, but when he's knocked out of the Speed Force, he arrives in an alternate 2013 with another Barry. As General Zod plans to invade the Earth, Barry seeks out Bruce to help find Superman, but encounters a different and older version. While he initially refuses to help as he's retired, Keaton's Batman, or a similar variant, eventually puts on the cowl. Together, they break out Kara as Superman died, but after assisting Barry to regain his powers and fighting Zod, he and Kara died during the fight. So the Flashes run back in time to save them, but they continuously die. Realizing their deaths are immutable, Barry resets the timeline as the multiverse collapses. Thinking everything's back to normal, Bruce appears, which to his shock isn't his Bruce, and to my surprise, it is George Clooney reprising his role.
These scars we have make us who we are. I lost my parents. That pain made me who I am. As if fighting crime would bring my parents back. I'm Batman.
Now with the end of his evolution till he makes another appearance, comment down below which version of Batman was your favorite. But make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram for updates. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next evolution.